Sup? Happy Monday. How are y'all? What's good? Alright, so today is Greggatron, by the way. Today I'm showing my Wu-Tang collection off because the Wu-Tang Clan is on tour and it's supposed to be their final tour, is what they say anyway. And I plan on going to the one in Chicago this summer. The only thing is I didn't see any meet and greet. And I didn't see any VIP. So it's like, man. But then for different areas in the country, there are, VIP. So I'm like, where's the VIP where I want to go? Right? So, with that said, let's jump into this. Let's start with the good t-shirt. It's a large. I got it from, I think, the mall, if I'm not mistaken. Just a white tee. And this is a conversation starter. People think I'm like a lame-o. And then when they see me wear this Wu-Tang shirt, they're like, oh, look, he's cool. We can be friends now. Let's strike up a conversation. That really happened to me when I was at work. I became friends with people based off of this shirt alone. So yeah, that's funny. Let's jump down here for a second. Afro Samurai. This show is what got me onto the Wu-Tang in the first place. Alright, I was born in the early 90s. So they were already kind of doing their thing when I was coming up. So I kind of heard of the Wu-Tang Clan, but I didn't really listen to them until I found Afro Samurai. And this is a classic. And one of the reasons it's a classic is the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is produced by the RZA. And he's actually rapping in dang near every song. So, there it is right there, the RZA music production. Excuse me. So the RZA made this show that much better. And it would have been great regardless because of the visuals and the voice acting, etc. But the music really makes this show pop and it really matches the anime itself. So, as far as it being a soundtrack goes, it's the best soundtrack for any... I shouldn't say the best, but it's one of the best soundtracks for any animated series, in my opinion. So I had to put Afro Samurai in there. You got the video game, which I don't believe is produced by the RZA, but it's still Afro Samurai. So I said, I'm going to throw that in there. That's a picture I took with Redman when I went to see Red and Meth back in 2016. That was great. This guy had a blunt in one hand. And what else did he have? A joint. He had a blunt and a joint at the same time. So yeah, that was fun. And I wasn't even supposed to get back there, but I was just talking to the security guard and he's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Because what had happened was I bought my ticket from the wrong website. So they did have meet and greet, just not where I got my ticket. We got more Afro Samurai there. That's Resurrection, the movie. Great soundtrack also. Great soundtrack. And I kind of showed you guys my Afro collection in the past. But I gotta include this when it comes to Wu-Tang stuff. Alright, that's my picture with Method Man. And by the way, Redman's not in the Wu-Tang, he's just affiliated with him. That's my picture with Meth. He's tall, man. He's super tall. He was towering over me. And that's the CD that I'm holding. The Story of the Wu, which is basically their greatest hits. And there it is right there. But like a dummy, I put it in my back pocket. Then I sat on it when I got into the car. I was like, oh, crap. So from that point on, I started having people write their signature on my, the inside sleeve, not the case itself. So fruit for thought. But yeah, this is their greatest hits, pretty much. You got all the good characters. Yeah. Okay. Now this is the actual Afro Samurai soundtrack. Oh, come on now. Get in focus. There we go. Yeah. So it says the RZA presents. Oh yeah. Here it is. And actually there's another soundtrack for Resurrection. It's on eBay, but it's super expensive. I should have got it when I had the chance, when it was cheap. But even the movie itself now is expensive and hard to find. Yeah, this is a classic. It's got the RZA, obviously. It's got Talib Kweli. It's got all kind of people. Q-Tip. Man. Good stuff. Oh yeah. Bobby Digital bonus tracks. That's the RZA's album. I'm going to put this right there. Since we're talking about Afro, we got the good book. There's 2 of these. I only have the one, part 1. That is the manga. You can pause that if you need to. You got to include Afro when you're talking about Wu-Tang. Now, let's come over here for a second. These 2 I threw in because Wu-Tang is featured in the Boondocks. It's not produced by him by any means, but the episode with a blind Negro samurai, they're using the purple tape in that episode as a soundtrack. So that's the first time that might have been the first time I heard the purple tape, was through the Boondocks. Because like I said, when the purple tape was coming out, I was already like a toddler, so I didn't really get into that stuff till I was older. And then also Ghostface Killer, he's featured in season 2 of this when Tom is possessed. And Ghostface Killer is like the ghost that kind of guides Huey as to how to restore Tom to his normal self, to exercise him. Yeah. And I have season 2 of this, but I don't need to show both seasons. Chappelle's show. Chappelle is a big Wu-Tang fan, and he's friends with them. So in this show, I think it's both the RZA and the GZA. They're both in the episode when they're doing the racial draft. That's the episode where they're trying to figure out who is a part of what race. And I'm pretty sure the Wu-Tang Clan ended up being Asian. That stuff was funny. But if I'm not mistaken, at the end of every episode, they had a guest. And I think there were some Wu-Tang members who performed on Chappelle's show, if I'm not mistaken. But I think they might have been at Dave Chappelle's block party, too. I could be wrong. Let's come over here. These are the shoes I showed you guys months ago. My cousin got for me. They're called what is it? The Wu-Tang Dunk High shoes. And you can see the symbol right there. That's pretty cool, right? And you can also see right there. Boom. So I made a video about these. I got them on the couch because I haven't worn them yet. They have not been worn yet. All right, let's talk about the good sword. This is from Afro Samurai. I got from the mall. I felt like I had to have this once I figured out what it was. This headband I put on separately, but it was great for Halloween. It made a great Halloween costume. All right. So that's the good sword. Also, I show this off in a different video as well. So most of the stuff you guys have seen before. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes. I'm going to start with Ghostface Killah as far as the CDs goes, because I got more Ghostface stuff than anybody else. Ghostface is probably my favorite member, because that dude can rap, man. Like, that dude is crazy. I talked about the purple tape a second ago, but this would be the purple tape part 2 if there was one. It's called Bulletproof Wallets, as you can see, featuring Raekwon. Excuse me. This is from 01, I believe, and it tells you on the back. Yep, 2001. It's kind of out of focus, but yeah. So they kind of had to have a follow-up, because they work so well together on the purple tape. So they had to have a follow-up. Yeah. We got the Big Doe Rehab. You know what I'm saying? You just can't go wrong with Ghostface. I got a coworker who, he found out I was a Wu-Tang fan thanks to that shirt. We became friends ever since, so I call him Ghostface, and he calls me Inspector. So I holler Ghostface Killah, he hollers Inspector. And this is from, like, what is it? Where's the year on it? Okay, 07. So this was a little bit later. I would have been in 8th grade. And you can see all the features. You got Raekwon, you got Method Man is in here. You got Beanie Siegel going on. I mean, they were always good with collaborations. This one is more of his relationship album, Wizard of Poetry. This is the one with Do-Over on it with Radio Raheem and Ghostface Killah. See, I heard that song. I was like, wow, I love that song. So then I found out, oh, that's Ghostface. Word? Yeah, Do-Over. That's a really good song. But the whole album is kind of relationship. You know, you gotta make songs for the ladies too. You know what I'm saying? This is what they call the brown tape. Ghostface Killah, 12 Reasons to Die, excuse me. The brown tape. Again, you can see the features. A lot of Wu-Tang people up in here. Inspector Deck is on here. You got... Oh, yeah. I like how they call them different colors, like the brown tape. Alright, so this one is probably my favorite Ghostface album. Ghostface Killah, 36 Seasons. This went hard. My favorite song is probably Call My Name. That's number 13. Call my name when you need me. I'll be there quick, fast, in a hurry. No need to worry. The almighty GFK, the last Avenger. New York's top contender, city's defender. I love this CD, man. I actually go to the gym and work out a lot to these songs. And the beauty of this CD, there's a separate disc. All my CDs are inside the case, the CD case. But, okay, there's no separate disc, but there's actually a bonus disc in addition to the disc of just the instrumentals. So if you don't want to hear the lyrics, you can just listen to the exact same song with the instrumental, which is dope. Yeah. Loyalty is another good one. Oh, yeah. Like I said, you can't go wrong with this guy. He's like the crooked eye of Wu-Tang. He's like the Lloyd Banks of Wu-Tang. Never had the worst verse, right? So this is much more recent. This is from 2019. And it's called Ghostface Killahs. The theme is, it's like him and a bunch of people. They're robbing this rich neighborhood. And they're all dressed up like the presidents. So the theme is like the cops are trying to find the bad guys, and he's like the leader. See, notice how he's the only one without a mask. Yeah, it's kind of like a crime story, like a movie. Like this could be the soundtrack of a movie. Yeah, this got some good joints on it, and I like this CD too because it's not very long. Each song is only like 2 minutes and some change. Yeah, and I got these from a CD shop in St. Louis because I remember at the time I was getting ready for a concert, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that might have been the Red Meth concert. Like I said before, this is their greatest hits. Story of the Wu. Got the good signature on there. My favorite Wu-Tang track is probably Reunited. Reunited. Double LP World Excited. Industry Ignited. Yeah, that stuff is crazy. You got all the good hits. Triumph is on here. Gravel Pit. Daytona 500. Yeah. Incarcerated Scarfaces. That's from the Purple Tape. Cream. Protect Your Neck. These are really recognizable. So this might have been like well, no it wasn't because I already had Blackout before I got this. Let's move on, shall we? I'll just set that right there on the good sword. All right, so now we're getting serious. So these two are my favorites. This is Liquid Swords from the Jizza, and this is the Purple Tape from Raekwon and Ghostface. My cousin knows about these because I had to tell him. He's younger than I am, but these two are the jam. Like, let me talk about Liquid Swords first. I mean, oh my gosh. The last song on this CD is just gold. It's called Bible. Bible. Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. And it's not even the Jizza. It's this guy named Killa Priest. So there's the track list. Right? And it's like they had a whole paragraph, and then they add in the name of the songs, the titles. But yeah, this goes super hard. When I'm in the gym, I listen to this stuff. This is like, I mean, it's arguably the best Wu-Tang project. You know, a lot of people say their first CD together was their best, which that's fine to say that. You can have your own opinion, but you know, if you want to talk about the solo projects, Liquid Swords probably is the best. I mean, investigative reports, great stuff. Oh, man. Yeah, man. You gotta check this out if you haven't. This is from the early to mid-90s. 95? Okay. Yeah. And I really like that cover, too. I like the artwork these guys put out. Because they're really into martial arts and samurai and ninja and all kind of stuff. Which is cool, man. Because that stuff isn't just for the Asian culture. That stuff is for everybody. Everybody who's willing to learn about martial arts and whatnot. Alright, so this is they called it the Purple Tape in the beginning, but this was remade later into a CD, so they changed it to Only Built by Cuban Links. And that's what kind of confused me when I was younger. I'm like, wait, where do I find the Purple Tape? But there was no more Purple Tape because they only made so many. And from my understanding, they came out purple by mistake. They weren't even supposed to be purple. That's just what the printer or whatever the machine printed. So they just stuck with it and it became famous. It became a name. So to this day, I call it the purple tape because who wants to say only built for Cuban links? But this is the CD that is featured in the Boondocks and many other. I mean, you got Criminology, Incarcerated Scarf. Oh man, Rainy Days. See, I'm getting chill bumps. Verbal Intercourse. That's the one with Nas, if I'm not mistaken. Like, gosh, dang. Ice Cream. This was some. And I like how at the end of every CD it says the Wu-Tang saga continues. But yeah, this is a classic. Like, this is probably the most classic, more so than Liquid Swords. It's kind of hard to say which one I like better because they're so different. They're so unique in their own way. Bobby Digital, my homie from work, let me burn this. This is the RZA CD from 98. Very solid stuff. I did not know what this was until he told me about it. Because at the time, I was only familiar with Afro. But he's like, nah, man, you need to listen to the stuff from the 90s, that Bobby Digital. I was like, okay. So he had a whole case of CDs, like way bigger than my CD case. So he let me borrow a lot of stuff. Shout out to him. This is the Blackout CD from Redman and Method Man from 99. This is also known to be a classic. But ironically, I heard Blackout 2 before the first Blackout. So that's that. Me and my brother and my friends, we used to burn a lot of CDs back in the day. And I actually like Blackout 2 better. And there was supposed to be a Blackout 3, but it never happened, which it's all good. Like Red and Meth, they're in their 50s now. And I see a lot of videos online where Meth is in the gym. Meth is doing his thing, man. So I can't even hold that against him. Speaking of Meth, this CD came out in 2015, the Meth Lab. And I saw it on YouTube. I saw one of the music videos. I can't remember which video it was. But I was like, man, I gotta have this CD. So I went to my local CD shop and snatched it. This is a really solid project from Method Man. Super solid. And again, I work out to some of these songs. Yeah, Bang Zoom is pretty good. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. And they have a song, track 12, on here called The Purple Tape, which is in respect to the good CD I talked about earlier. That's probably my favorite. That's the one that goes, lace your boots up, tracks get looped up, the chocolate deluxe gets scooped up, all my pigeons is cooped up, Woo's up, W's up. Yeah, that's good stuff. This is good for working out. Ain't nobody gonna break my group up. Veterans dying and used up. I'm already tying the new sub. Yeah. Alright, the final CD that I have. This is the most recent, probably. The Wu-Tang Saga continues. This probably has the best artwork. Because it pretty much has everybody up in there. You can see they got good blades. I mean, they got everybody on here, man. They got the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, You God, Method Man. Yeah, man. You can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. This is the one with only one on it. Look me in my eye and lie to me again. Tell me I'm your only lover, your best friend. Tell me that this moment we have will never end.